That means everything that you do needs attention. Does that make sense? You can make anything better, or you can take away or decrease anything by giving your attention to it. Boom! What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Don Uncensored, place where we talk about tips, tricks, and knowledge as we go through our self-improvement journey. We're back with another one, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hop right into the video. Today we are talking about how your attention will equal the matter that comes into your life. Now, you might be asking me, why are you talking about this topic? Well, there's a really good book. This is the book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. I highly recommend this book. This is a really good book. I've gotten through a pretty good amount of it. I'm reading it currently with my girlfriend. So this is a really good book. We've had many discussions about it. Super good book. Highly recommend it. In this book, what it talks about is how you break the habit of being yourself. And one of the main ways that we started doing this, and one of the main ways you can start doing this, is by reprogramming your brain and understanding how your brain and your mind affects the physical world around you. So let's really get into it and kind of dive in deep, because I've talked about this topic so much, but now I have an even better understanding to explain it for y'all. So the way that it works, matter, right? Or matter as we know it is only anything but potential energy. So matter equals potential energy. So because matter equals potential energy, it means that it has not been used yet. It's still in a state where it has not been conformed. It has not been applied. It has not been, misshaped and reconstructed and made into a physical form. Now, most people, when they see an atom, they think of an atom like this, right? Most people usually see an atom as this small little structure. As you have the protons and neutrons in the middle, and you have the electrons circling around. Now, here's the thing about it. Potential energy, actual energy, when you look at it, the only thing that it is just this small circle. That's all it is. It's the only thing is positive and negative, is positive and neutral sitting in the middle. Around this is a cloud of energy. It's a cloud of potential energy, potential electrons that have not been either looked at or have not been made into something yet. So with potential energy, with matter equal potential energy, what this means is that for you at least, everything around you that you see is not actually what you think it is. Most people think an atom is that small little thing that has a little circle around it. No, it's the cloud. And because of this cloud, that means that matter and everything, potential energy, is all around you. The air is filled with potential energy. Your sleep is filled with potential energy. Your brain, your body, your comforter, everything you sleep on, everything you use has potential energy. So now, how does this relate even further? Now, with potential energy is only converted into matter when there's attention put onto it. So the moment you put potential energy with attention, that's when it's going to equal matter, because now you're forcing this potential energy to be pliable and to be made into something. Now, here's the really cool part about this. A lot of people would say, well, when I wake up, why is my pillow not, potential energy? Why is my bed not potential energy? Here's the thing. Your mind already knows what these things look like. It has already shaped this matter, this potential energy, into a physical thing. So when you wake up in the morning, you're sleeping on a bed of potential energy that was molded by your mind to look like a bed. You didn't know what a bed looked like until you literally looked at it. Then your mind started going, oh wait, okay, this is a bed. And then you started shaping potential energy, and now every time you look at a bed, you can recognize it as a bed. That's really crazy, right? So now let's understand this. With potential energy and it needing attention to equal matter, that means everything that you do needs attention to be able to be made into matter. Now, the best part about this is that you have control over what you give your attention to. And there's really only mainly a couple ways that you should be doing this. In my opinion, you should only be splitting up your attention into 3 and at most 4 parts. And in my opinion, for me personally, it will always go work, it'll go relationships, and then it goes physical/mental. Those are always the 3 priorities. Now, here's the thing about it. All of these have potential energy inside of them. All 3 of these have potential energy inside of them. It is up to me to give my attention to make matter physical in all 3 of these realms. Does that make sense? If I want to get a better work life, I can put 50% more of my potential energy, 50% more of my attention towards it, and now 50% of that energy and work, that potential energy and work, has now been converted into matter, has now been converted into subscribers, new people in the Conquerors Academy, new people watching liking the TikTok, new people following the Instagram, more brand deals, more everything, right? Now, again, I could then delay that back and go down 30% if I wanted to, because I want to start taking my energy and putting its source somewhere else. Let's say I want to take my relationship and boost it up to 100%. So then I start putting 60% of my attention into the relationship. Now the relationship is going to go up 60% because now all of that potential energy that was inside of that relationship is now being looked on. I'm now using 60% of my attention towards a relationship. So now my relationship is going to be 60% better. Does that make sense? You can make anything better, or you can take away or decrease anything by giving your attention to it. So again, if you want to, let's say, stop focusing on relationships, you can then boost it down to 20%. You put 20% of your attention into your relationships, and let's say you actually go 40% into your work. Now your 60% of your attention has been divided. Now you have more into one thing, you have a little bit in another thing, and then you can go physical and mental. Now with physical and mental, you can then put your other 40% into it. Now here's the thing about it. I truly believe if you want to have the best of anything, you need to put 100% of your attention into it. So personally, right now, I would tell you that 100% of my effort has been towards my relationship, because I genuinely do like and enjoy the person that I'm with. I do enjoy the time I spend with my girlfriend. I love my girlfriend, right? So with that being said, a lot of my attention goes towards my relationships, right? And with that being said, I can then also take a little bit of that attention away, because now I know how to use habits. Now I know how to use potential energy, and I can flip it. So now no matter what goes on, I always have a control over how much attention I'm putting into something. It's crazy how this skill works, because as soon as you start understanding, okay, my mind now equals matter, which means that everything I want to happen comes from here. So if I put more attention into something, more is going to happen in that one thing, right? So if I put 100% of my attention into my relationship, my work and my physical/mental, it's not going to get as much attention. It might cause it to decrease, right? When you stop putting so much attention into something, the potential energy inside of it, that matter, starts going away, right? Matter can be destroyed. It's going to actually just be destroyed and go back into its natural state. It's going to go back into that cloud form. It's not going to look like this. It's going to go look like that. So it's going to go from a block to this, right? So the more that you take away your attention from something, the more that the matter you made in it starts diminishing, right? So then let's say you're putting 100% into your relationship, and then you're like, all right, I need to start ramping up my work again. And then you start working on my ramp load. Now you already know, okay, my attention will equal the amount of matter and will equal the amount of success that I get from something. So then I can take my attention, I can split this in half. I can then go put 50% in work. I can put another, 50% into this. Now my physical and mental is going down. But then you realize, hold on, wait, I need to put my physical and mental as well. So then you also might have to figure out, what do I want to decrease? Do I want to decrease my workload? Do I want to decrease as much time as I'm spending with my partner? Do I want to spend a little bit less time doing certain things and spending it on specific things? You have the ability to control everything. That's the funny part. I feel like a lot of people forget that you literally can make anything out of your mind. Your mind will literally make anything for you, because your mind and the matter that's between it are your thoughts. Thoughts and matter are the exact same thing. When you do a brain study, you can look this up. They've done studies on the brain. When the brain is told about a certain situation that has not happened yet, it starts firing. Your brain is made up of these neurons, right? They're made up of synapses. synapses. I think that's how you pronounce it, synapses. Now, here's the thing about synapses. These are roadmaps between your brain. They connect and they look really crazy, right? But they are ever connecting and they're going everywhere inside of your brain. You have billions of these things inside of your brain. Now, here's the thing about it. When you want to create something new, right, your brain will start firing in multiple different ways and start creating new synapses to start making that potential energy and recognizing it as matter. Start making it physical inside of it. So when you start telling yourself, okay, I am this person, I'm XYZ, your brain will then start firing and start forming new synapses and neurons inside of your brain that is now going to make it think that, okay, this has happened already. So since we already know that attention equals matter and potential energy is only made into matter when you put your attention on it, your brain now thinks that since that situation has happened, it's now focused on it. So then all of that potential energy that happens will then be transformed into matter. You ever ask a successful person, I would have never been in the place that I am right now. I would have never thought I would have been able to reach 200 people on YouTube, over 600 people on TikTok. I would never think that I would have 1,000 people follow me when I put all of my socials together. And that may not sound like a lot, but bro, walk into a room of 1,000 people. That is a scary amount of people. But think about that. I would have never been able to do that if I never had told myself I was exactly who I am. I never told myself this is what I do. I am a person who makes educational content, who helps people become better. I would have never been in this spot. I would have never been as happy as I am. I would have never made the progress that I've made in life if I never had told myself that I am this person and I work towards it every single day. I put my attention on an idea. That potential energy is now being slowly formed into matter. As I start pounding the hammer and doing the thing over and over and over and over again, my synapses in my brain are now being wired again. Because they're now being wired, my brain is now thinking, okay, this is the reality we're in. Since my mind creates matter, it makes potential energy into matter because of the thoughts and attention I give it. That matter is now going to start forming into the reality that I want. I need you to understand your brain controls everything. If you control your brain, you can control the war field. You can control the war and everything that's going inside of your brain. Your brain is a constant war zone, fighting for attention, fighting for different firing sequences in your brain. They're focused on the thousands of different things that go on in your life. I promise you, if you can master your brain, you can understand that attention will equal matter, and matter is only made of potential energy, and potential energy can only be made into matter through attention. You will truly understand how you can start changing your life. I promise you. Ask any successful person. I could probably call up my dad right now. I could call up my uncle. I could call up my girl, and they would tell you I did not become successful until I started acting like the person I wanted to become, and I started seeing out the ideas that I wanted because of that, right? They start having these all crazy ass ideas. Everybody's called crazy until it works. They had these crazy ass ideas, and they were always told it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. But eventually they kept going and going and going and going. And all of that potential energy that surrounded these ideas, that surrounded these different things that they hold emotions and thoughts towards, these started becoming physical materials. They started becoming physical things. Bro, my uncle went from being a person who was literally sleeping in the slums of Haiti to now being a millionaire who drives multiple BMWs, right? These people only became this successful because they started putting their attention towards the ideas and thoughts that they wanted. They started making the physical. They started taking that potential energy, flipping it on its head side, and now starting to create actual matter by putting their attention into it. So I promise you, if you've ever wondered, why can't I get the things that I want? Why do I seem to not be able to do anything that I want? The reality I want is not coming towards me. It's because you're not putting enough attention into it. Or maybe you're dividing your attention into things that you don't want to unknowingly. So maybe for you, you really want to start ramping up your workload, but you have a lot more responsibilities in your relationship. You have a lot more responsibilities in other parts of your life. You're going to have to either choose, do I want to keep doing the same thing, or do I want to change something different? I'm going to have to drop something to increase the attention that I give this one other thing. You have to understand that. Again, you have 100% of your attention, and 100% of your attention can go to one thing or it can go to 10 things, right? But if you want to truly see change and you want to bump everything up, you can literally, you only have to do this is you just have to figure out one of these things that I have to X out or I have to stop giving as much attention to, and then I have to actually ramp up and go into the thing that I want to. That's actually how you start making change, and that's exactly how you start seeing boosts in your work life, in your relationships, and everything else in your life. You start realizing that you have only 100% of your attention, and you have to be very, very finite. You have to be very, very tactical. You have to be very, very, very scrutinous on what you give your attention to, because remember, attention equals matter. Thoughts equal matter, right? Attention and thoughts will equal your matter. If your attentions and thoughts are only on negative, only negative will come. If your attentions and thoughts are only on positive, only positive will come. If your attention and thoughts are on a brand new life, a new life that lives in a certain ways, and this person looks like a certain person, talks like a certain person, acts like a certain person, is able to do certain things, you have to be able to keep your thoughts in line with that and give all of your attention towards that dream. I promise you, once you start understanding this and you understand that your attention equals a matter and that matter equals potential energy, and potential energy when combined with attention only will then equal physical matter inside of your life, you will understand that you have 100% of your attention, but you cannot divide it up until 10 things. You can, but it's not going to be that fruitful. If you truly want to see change in your life, you have to understand your attention will equal the matter. And if you want to see more matter, more things be made in certain categories of your life, you're going to have to give it more attention, which means certain things are going to have to lose certain attentions. Once you conquer this, once you conquer how your brain works, how your mind works, how matter and everything else in your brain works, and how your brain's all wired, and how potential and energy and everything else works together and comes and melds together, you're going to conquer everything in your life. Because then you're going to realize, I only have to put my 100% of my attention into this one thing for a finite amount of time, and I'll see a drastic amount of change. You could put 33% of your attention into 3 things and still see change inside of your life. But once you start dividing your attention up between multiple different things, that's when your attention on each one's going to start dropping. So keep your attention focused on only 3 things. 3 things, in my opinion, to see the most change in your life and to actually see progress and results that you want. Conquer this, you can conquer anything. Be a conqueror.